in the 90s, we like to live dangerously with only one level of undo. Hi, I'm Ryan from Educate.me, and today I'm going to show you my favorite keyboard shortcuts with the Macintosh. Keyboard shortcuts are a great way to speed up your use of the computer and make you more efficient. That means you get things done faster. While with keyboard shortcuts, they not only make you look really cool, but they also make you look like an elite hacker when you're doing all this stuff magically from the keyboard. Why do you want to use the keyboard? Because if you're moving your hands from the keyboard to the trackpad or the mouse, that's a little bit of time in there. It might be imperceptible to you, but there is that time, and it's a context switch. You have to think differently when you're using your fingers with the mouse or trackpad than with the keyboard. So the more you can stay on one or the other, the faster you will be. So I'm going to go through my favorite keyboard shortcuts for the Macintosh. Down in the description, I'm going to have a link to my favorite keyboard shortcuts for Windows. So if you use both, or you clicked on this one by accident, you can go watch my video on using keyboard shortcuts in Windows. I have my Mac desktop here, and the first two shortcuts I'm going to talk about, I said these are my 10 favorite. I kind of combine a few of the shortcuts into different categories because they go together. So when we're talking about keyboard shortcuts, it's important to realize how we do those. The shift key, the control key, the option key, and the command key on your keyboard, those are called modifier keys. They don't do anything by themselves, only when they're pressed in conjunction with another key. Our first keyboard shortcut is one that you already know how to use. I know you know how to use it. Don't be screaming at me because I'm going through it. I have a method to my madness. Command C and Command X copy, and Command X copies and cuts information to the clipboard. Why am I covering this? Because you've used this. I was helping a high school junior, and every time he wanted to cut text, he would use Command C and then he'd go to Command X because he didn't understand that Command X copied and cut. He thought Command X only deleted the text that he had highlighted. And he was at least using the shortcuts, but he was adding a keystroke that he didn't need to add. I'm going to bring up, I have my document here. Now to copy or cut text, you highlight it first. And if I do Command C, it copies that information to the clipboard. And I can go to another document and paste it. I can paste it several times if I want, because it stays in the clipboard until I put something else in the clipboard. If I use Command X, it copies the highlighted information and then cuts it out of the document. One key does that both. And I can go to my other document, and our next keyboard shortcut is Command V, which I just assumed you guys knew. But Command V pastes. So Command C copies, Command X copies and cuts, and Command V pastes. Why does Command V paste? Because it's in that bottom row beside the C and X. That's the only reason. Our next keyboard shortcut, you've probably heard half of these. Command Z undoes. My document here, I do Command Z, and it's going to undo each one of those steps. The reverse of that is Command Y, which will redo the steps. Why would you ever want to use Command Y? Sometimes you get a little Command Z happy and you go too far back. You can do Command Y and it will redo those steps up until you're at the back to no changes in the documents. Most applications nowadays have multiple levels of undo, which means you can undo several levels. Older applications, you might only have one level of undo, because in the 90s, we like to live dangerously with only one level of undo. Nowadays, we're spoiled because we have multiple levels of undo. So Command Z does. Command Y redoes, or redos. So our next is with applications. I have Chrome up here, and the first one I'm going to show you is Command L. Command L takes you to the location bar. You notice the location bar lit up there. It's a quick way to go directly to the location bar so you can go to another website. Bonus for right now, if the text is highlighted, you do not have to delete it. You can just start typing and it'll automatically delete. I've seen so many teachers and students, they'll highlight text, they'll hit the delete button, and then they'll start typing. You don't have to do that. I can just start typing and it automatically deletes it. So Command L takes me up to there and I can just start typing the address I want to go to. Along with the browser is Command T. Now we could just hit the plus to add a new tab, and that works okay, but we have to move our hands down to the trackpad. If I can hit Command T, I can make a new browser window, lickety split. I'm going to open something up in these windows. Command T opens up a new window. Command T opens up a new tab. Command W will close that tab. Now, I close that tab. Oh no! I wanted that tab. What do I do? We're going to add the Shift key to the command. So Shift Command T will bring that tab back. So Command W will let me close tabs. Shift Command T will let me restore those tabs. And you notice it is multiple levels of undo. So think of it like as a tab undo. Command T creates a tab. Command Shift T restores a tab. Command W closes a tab. Now, when we're in our document, Control Tab lets us go between all of the tabs in that document. And this could be other applications, but Control Tab, I can jump between the tabs. So instead of taking my hands off and moving the mouse to the tab I want, I can do Control Tab. If I do Shift Control Tab, it goes the other direction. Control Tab, Shift Control Tab. So those are two ways to jump between the different tabs in the browser. We're on a page. We did a Google search for this page, and we were looking for a specific word on this page. Now we could sit here and scroll down through it, but there's a faster way. Command F will bring up the find. From here, I can type in my search term and then hit return, and it's going to go to each one of those times it finds that word every time I hit return. I can do it without using the trackpad, going up here and hitting this next button. Shift return goes backwards. So think of Shift for most keyboard shortcuts will do the opposite of what it does without the Shift. So I can do return to go through it, Shift return to go back through it. You can also use Command G to go to the next found item. So that's a lot, but Command F starts the search. Return will go through those items, Shift return will go back, and Command G will go through the items. Unfortunately, you do have to hit the X with the mouse pointer to close it. Finally, I have a few shortcuts for when you are editing a document. I'm in my document and you can see my cursor here. I can hit the right and left arrow key to move the cursor one character at a time. Yeah, you've done that a lot. If you hold down the Option key, you can move that by word. So here I am just holding on Option going left and right, and you can see it's moving by word. Option up and down will go to the end of the next paragraph. Option up will go to the start of the next paragraph. So I can easily go through my paragraphs here without having to take my hand off, scroll down, try to find it, Option will let me do that. So Option left and right lets me navigate by a word at a time. Now, our delete key on the Mac keyboard, it says delete, but it's really backspace. I don't know why Apple calls it delete, just to be different, think differently. When we hit the delete key, it deletes to the left of the cursor. Now that can get tedious if you have a lot to delete. You can highlight it and then hit the delete key to delete it. But you know how our Option key goes left and right by word? Option and delete will delete words to the left. A quick way, instead of you have an 8-word sentence, 8 times I can delete every word in it versus the 100 and some characters that might be in that when I go to delete it. So that is Option and then the delete key to go back. That's it for today. Hopefully there was something in here that you can use. Don't try to start off learning all of these at once. What I would recommend is finding a couple that you find really neat, that you really want to use. Write them down on a Post-it, stick them on your monitor, stick them on your wrist rest on the laptop where you're going to see them so you can remind yourself to start using them. That way you can start small and you can add on to those lists as you go along and get more and more comfortable. There are tons and tons. See all the keys on your keyboard? There's a shortcut that uses all of them, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. And each key, you notice we can add different modifiers like the Shift, Option, Shift, Command. You can get up to Control, Alt, Control, Option, Command, and another key sequence. So the sky's the limit. Be sure to like this video and visit my website over at educate.me. Stay classy.